In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
Where to start in America's courts? TikTok is suing the U.S. government, saying that the ban on TikTok, which, as you know, has been signed by Joe Biden, passed by Congress, violates the First Amendment. They are suing, and they say that this new law violates their right to free speech. There is no question that the act will force a shutdown of TikTok by January 19th, 2025. This is what they're saying in their filing. Silencing in that process 170 million Americans who use the platform to communicate in ways that cannot be replicated elsewhere. People don't want their TikTok taken away, Kim. And they don't want their ByteDance taken away, the company that owns TikTok. Now, probably what the government would say is, we're not saying that TikTok has to close. We're saying it can't be owned, the controlling share, by a Chinese company. Still, isn't this government involvement in the free market? All I hear is about the free market and America's free market, but boy, we have a lot of controls on our market, which is why I always challenge that free market argument. Nonetheless, this is their latest. This isn't a filing to suggest it's a violation of free market policy. It is a filing to suggest it's a violation of First Amendment rights. Meantime, in Law and Disorder, Walmart is going to pay shoppers up to $500. It'll be a part of a $45 million legal settlement for overcharging them. No. It's a class action lawsuit that accuses Walmart of overcharging for certain items. And shoppers, if you submit a claim form by June 5th, you get a payment. Those without a receipt are only entitled to between $10 and $25. But Walmart is shelling out $45 million as part of this settlement. They were overcharging for certain pay-by-weight items like produce. The maximum amount you can get, though, is $500. The lawsuit said that Walmart falsely inflates the product weight and overcharges customers.
Oh, they're scoundrels.
Yeah. It's
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
I guess it is. Now they will pay.
And the little the weights and measures guy that comes around and makes sure that your scales are properly calibrated. Is that how they found out?
Yeah, and now they're properly calibrated. He comes around in Walmart's case, and right, the government guy comes around is one thing, but of course those regulators will all be eliminated under a GOP administration. So, Boeing is facing 10 more whistleblowers. 2 have died. I'll remind you. 1 committed suicide, and another died under mysterious circumstances, many are saying. The attorneys for both those men hope that the deaths don't scare away the at least 10 more whistleblowers who want the company to clean up its act. The quality auditor at Spirit Aerosystem, which assembles the fuselage sections for Boeing, he died. Joshua Dean, he's 45 years old. He died a week ago from a fast-growing mystery infection. But there are others who still have to step forward. And the second part of the guy's testimony, who was the first whistleblower who died, there he is. The guy who worked for Boeing for 32 years, you're seeing a picture of him now, he was found dead in his Dodge Ram truck, holding a silver pistol in his hand in the parking lot of his South Carolina hotel. Again, this after he failed to show up for that second part of the testimony, the whistleblower testimony. This is the bombshell lawsuit against Boeing. Boeing losing money. They lost $355 million, they say, on falling revenue in the first quarter. So the crisis at Boeing is affecting their bottom line as well. But there you see one of the things affecting that company. Their aircrafts are being beset by more and more issues. There was the slide that fell off one jet. There was the door that blew off another jet. Meantime, a Democrat is accused of accepting $600,000 in bribes.
What?
Even more surprising, it was not Senator Menendez, everybody.
What?
It was, Henry Cuellar. He's
Democrat,
charged with
right?
accepting $600,000 in bribes from two foreign entities, according to this indictment released by the Justice Department. The Justice Department weaponized, it only goes against GOP. Well, you've got two major corruption cases that are going on against Democrats. He's considered a moderate Democrat here in this article. I don't consider him a moderate Democrat. I mean, he's, we can get into Henry Cuellar another time. He's out of Texas, and his views on women's reproductive rights, et cetera, I think would make you characterize him differently than moderate Democrat. And finally, to the PTA, what could possibly go wrong at the PTA? But I'd like you to realize we cover the big universes and the small universes here. The Middletown PTA president in Middletown, Pennsylvania. The PTA from Middleton Elementary and Middleton Primary Schools has been charged with stealing more than $23,000.
What?
No.
Did it by using forged checks. Charging documents say that other members of the PTA's board began to suspect problems with the organization's finances in September of last year. That when Middleton Valley Bank flagged a fraudulent check. That check was written and signed by the accused. Her name is Ryan Hartman. Well, a review of several years' worth of banking statements uncovered 48 of those fraudulent checks, Kim. And the checks were made out to who? Hartman.
No.
They totaled $23,135 in PTA funds. Of those checks, the second signatory was listed on 29 of them, and that signature was forged. That's the former treasurer's signature.
Which, because there's all kinds of PTA rules that you have to follow. You know, you have to, again, have a second signature. The whole treasury document is presented before the group at every meeting so everyone can see what checks are going through. It's a surprise that she was able to pull it off.
Well, she had large reimbursements, Kim, that she was able to phony up. Some of the reimbursements claimed by Hartman included $1,516 for, quote, pizza kits, $1,835 for movie reimbursement, and $1,225 for FFK night deposit reimbursement. 14 of the checks made out to Hartman during the period covered by the PTA bank statements were written by Hartman during the summer months when no school or PTA activities would have been taking place. So you see, it was, once again, she got away with it for a while, but eventually the long arm of the PTA,
I guess,
discovered her.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing indeed. How could you screw up one of the easiest and best paying jobs on television? It's happened. The weather guy at ABC, Rob Marciano, that handsome, hunky Rob Marciano, he is out.
what happened?
That's right. He is a...
Good day, sir.
That's right. According to sources familiar with what happened, he was fired after fellow ABC meteorologist Ginger Z, That sweet Ginger Z.
Girl, you just woo.
She heard about his outburst with a producer, reported it to management, and Rob Marciano, hunky Rob, they used to go to him as he's on a coastal setting somewhere. There's a big storm coming, David. Let me tell you, right now, I'm just seeing clouds forming. If you look at our map now, you can see there are severe thunderstorms that'll be here in a matter of minutes. All of that made up one of the easiest jobs one can have on television.
Kind of your job, right?
Yes.
At one
Even
time.
easier, because he had all these support people and graphics people doing it. But that's true. It's just, there he is. Mm-hmm. Rob Marciano. Well, anyway, there was a heated screaming match between Rob and one of the producers of Good Morning America. Following that outburst, the network's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z,
Girl, you just woo.
overheard the story, and she then decided to report the incident to network leadership. The reason she did that, it was not Marciano's first rodeo with this stuff. He had crossed the line on the set a few times. And let that be a warning to all of you who want to cross the line on this show.
What?
Why are you yelling?
It was previously reported that Marciano was fired following complaints by staffers over his behavior, which included anger issues. The actual incident that led to his termination had not been publicly revealed before this. He clashed with Z, Ginger Z, my loving, lovable, great Ginger Z. They clashed for years, Kim. Unreported, these clashes.
Why are you
You
yelling?
don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Everything looks like, oh, it's so, we all get along and everything's so great. And behind the scenes, they hate each other.
One source said, I think she brought out the worst in him.
No, don't blame Ginger. He's the
Well,
one that had anger issues.
I
blame you.
All right. He joined ABC News in 2014, previously had been banned from Good Morning America because there was an anger management issue at Good Morning America. He was banned in 2022. The banishment noted that Marciano had made another female colleague feel uncomfortable, that he was punished for, quote, improper behavior. An ABC insider telling the Daily Beast that hunky Rob Marciano's exile from the GMA tapings revolved not just around his anger, Kim, no, but also his tendency to, quote, overshare information with female staffers regarding his divorce. It created an awkward work environment. As for the shouting incident that prompted his firing, sources said that others witnessed Marciano's tirade, and soon Z, the network's top meteorologist, found out about it. She then reported the onset argument to management, and management said, we've seen too much from a hunky Rob Marciano, and it's time for him to take his hunkiness to Hunkville.
Good day, sir.
And leave Good Morning America. And Rob Marciano lets the easiest job in America slide through his fingers.
Sayonara, sucker.
Sayonara, Rob.
Sayonara, sucker!
Yeah. And lastly, in this turbo version of Law and Disorder, a man accused of kicking a bison at Yellowstone is injured and arrested.
No.
He's accused of kicking a bison in the leg at
Why?
Yellowstone National Park. He was under the influence of, if you guessed alcohol, yes.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
So
He was
got
under the influence of
drunk?
alcohol. He was injured by the animal, later arrested. Clarence Yoder of Idaho Falls. He approached the bison too closely, within 25 yards, on a road about 7 miles east of the park's west entrance. Park rangers went to the area after getting a report of an individual who harassed a herd of bison and kicked one of the bison in the leg. They located the suspect's vehicle and stopped it in town. Rangers took the 40-year-old Yoder to a nearby medical facility where he was evaluated, treated, and released from medical care. The park did not have further details on the encounter or the nature of Yoder's injury, but Yoder faces 4 charges stemming from this arrest: being under the influence to a degree that may endanger oneself, disorderly conduct as to create or maintain a hazardous condition, approaching wildlife, and disturbing wildlife.
Not done.
He's done.
There's a name for that. I learned it the other day. Apparently this word has been around for a while. They call it a Turon. Tourist plus moron equals a Turon. Yeah, he's a total Turon. Kicking a bison. Seriously?
What an a-hole.
Totally.
Total a-hole.
Yeah.
That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.